Hello, everybody. This is Jesse Krieger, founder of Lifestyle Entrepreneurs Press and creator of the bestseller Campaign Blueprint. And I hope you've been enjoying this three-part video training series that I've created for you called How to Become a Best-Selling Author This Year. And if you missed any of the first three videos, we covered how to do a content framework, how to structure your book so that it not only is readable and enjoyable to the reader, but also lends itself towards how you can use the book to create some additional back-end product, whether that's a live event, an online training program, or coaching work. We started to talk about how the actual book can lay the foundation for a book-based business and brand. And in the second video, we talked about choosing your author type. So we looked at the spectrum between sort of artisanal authors, where you're really involved in writing and editing and doing the illustrations, and it's really sort of a work of art. On the other end of the spectrum was the executive style author, where maybe you're busy or you're running a company, and how to use author interviews and other rapid content creation techniques so you can get your book created fast in a way that's in line with your business and lifestyle. And in the third video, we covered bestseller book cover design. We talked about the sad but true reality that the world will judge your book by its cover. And so you've got to have an eye-grabbing book cover that not only quickly conveys what your book is about, but also encourages people to pick yours off the shelf or to click yours from the computer screen when it's there amongst many, many other titles. And that sort of brings us up to this video where I want to share, now that you've created a book and it looks great and it reads well and it lends itself to additional back-end products, offers, or services, how do you really launch your book out there in a big way and use it as the foundation for a book-based business and brand? What I really want to talk about today is how to build pre-launch momentum for your book. And what that really means is building the anticipation towards your book launch. I mean, you've put in the time and the energy to write your book and create it and do the cover design. And that doesn't necessarily mean that even though your book may look great and read well, doesn't mean that people are beating a path to your door or camping out in front of the bookstore waiting for the doors to open so they can grab a copy of your book off the shelf. No, rather, you need to build the anticipation towards the launch. And one of the ways in doing that is to have what we call a pre-launch campaign. And what this really entails is having a simple one-page website, also known as a landing page, where you're offering one of two things. Either sample chapters of your book so people can begin getting the experience of the content you've created and the value that you're providing, or a complimentary checklist, blueprint, white paper, or special report, something that complements the content of your book and really is quick to digest and easy to act on and implement so that the reader or the person that's downloading this, in exchange for giving you their name and email address, is now getting familiar with your book and looking forward to when they can get a complete copy. The basic strategy here is to get a site up that you can use either lead pages or something simple like WordPress, but this isn't about building a whole website. This is actually about just building a one-page site where you can see a cover of the book and one or two quick sentences that offers what's inside. And we see some examples, and we've talked through in the previous videos, about how you can position the content so that it's engaging and eye-grabbing to the people that are visiting the site so that they want to give you their name and email in exchange for either those sample chapters or a special report. And so once you've got something like that set up, it can be as simple as, for example, when we had Lifestyle Entrepreneur up, I think the headline said, build a business that you love and a lifestyle worthy of a screenplay. Click here to grab the first 3 chapters of Lifestyle Entrepreneur, and I'll also send you this free 3-part email training series. Right? And so that was pretty much all of the text that was on the page, but that was enough for somebody that came to the site expecting to see something about Lifestyle Entrepreneur to say yes, click, exchange their name and email, and then I send them the first 3 chapters of my book, plus follow up with a few additional emails that expand on the content that's in that book. And so this is how we start to build anticipation towards the book launch, is giving people a taste of the value, giving people a taste of the content that you've written about, and framing it and positioning it in a way where it's applicable to their lives, and then following up with a few emails or videos or something else that continues to build the anticipation and leads towards the actual book launch. That's the gap that most authors and entrepreneurial authors miss, which is thinking that once you've completed your book, that your work is done. Now, that may have been true years ago or decades ago with traditional publishers that may have put marketing and a big budget behind a book launch, but never has it been more true than today that you have to take it upon yourself to build the anticipation for your readers and for your book launch. And so what I want you guys to think about, and we'll have a worksheet attached to the page where this video is being shown, that can help you think about that bridge from completing your book to launch day and how you can build the anticipation that will ultimately lead to the results that you've been looking for on your launch day, so that everybody that you've been building into a group or putting onto your email list or gathering into a private Facebook group where you can communicate with them one-on-one is now looking forward to and starting to gather around their friends and bring in their colleagues and peers to take part in the book launch. And everybody knows when that date is, and they're getting additional training and value and interaction that builds up the anticipation so that when launch day hits, everybody is, in fact, rushing to either Amazon or to the bookstore to get the copy of your book that you've worked so hard on and put so much effort into. I hope that this has been helpful to explain how you go from having finished your book and then actually building the pre-launch marketing campaign that leads up to the launch day. And one other thing that you can consider is after somebody opts in and gets the sample chapters for your book, well, then there's one more page that they're going to see and which you have to build, which is the thank you page. And so that thank you page, after they get the sample chapters or the special report, is basically going to invite them to join either a private Facebook group that you've set up for your book launch, or let them know to keep an eye on their inbox because you're going to be sending some more valuable information that expands on the content that's in the book and perhaps provides a way to interact with you as the author and entrepreneur and allows them to start to wrap their head around the concepts and see how they can apply the information in your book to their lives. That's the missing piece that so many authors miss, is actually building up that sense of community and in the same time anticipation so that when launch day hits, your book goes sailing up the charts and you have a group of initial readers, fans, and potential customers and clients that are waiting to get their hands on your book. So I hope this video is helpful, and this puts sort of a capstone on this video training series on how you can become a best-selling author this year. And in the next video, I want to give you an opportunity to join me on Bestseller Campaign Blueprint, where we'll be going with a group of authors and entrepreneurs for 8 weeks of live online training that will culminate in a live in-person event in Los Angeles on November 13th to 15th called Bestseller Summit Live. And so for now, I hope you've been getting value out of these videos, and I look forward to sharing this opportunity with you soon. But in the meantime, go ahead and download this worksheet and start to think about how you can bridge that gap from finishing your book to actually launching it and having a groundswell of support there for you so you can finally achieve your dream of becoming a best-selling author this year. Again, I'm Jesse Krieger. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.